A tragic development in that crash of a Snowbirds plane in Kamloops, British Columbia. We now know one team member has died and another has suffered serious injuries. Our Chris Glover is following the story for us. So Chris, what more can you tell us?
Well, Natasha, I want to get right to the statement from the Snowbirds themselves, who put out a statement to confirm that tragic news, those tragic details. And in that statement, Snowbirds saying, "It is with heavy hearts that we announce that one member of the CF Snowbirds team has died and one has sustained serious injuries. We can confirm that we have contacted all primary family members of those involved, and they also promised that more information would be coming in the near future." Now, we already know that the RCMP had said that just before noon, a Snowbirds plane fell out of the sky and landed on a residence, on a home in Kamloops, British Columbia. And we just heard from the mayor of Kamloops, Ken Christian, who called this a tragic scene, and a huge response from local officials there and from emergency responders. He was saying that 4 or 5 houses had to be evacuated as a result of this plane crash. And the mayor was also saying that an emergency operations center has been set up in the area. Now, it's important to remind everybody that this happened during an acrobatic air show by the Snowbirds. They have been traveling across the country, showing off their skills to Canadians to try to lift up their spirits during the COVID-19 pandemic. And the mayor was saying that that point is hitting his community particularly hard at this moment. Listen to the mayor.
This has been a very startling and shocking incident in your neighborhood, and it comes on the heels of yesterday. And yesterday was inspirational in Kamloops because Operation Inspiration performed here yesterday, and they were widely received and welcomed by the citizens of Kamloops. We're a military town. We have a great relationship with the 419 Squadron in Cold Lake, Alberta. And so this accident today really shakes us to our core, but we will respond to it in every way that we can to support the Canadian military as well as the women and men in service.
And so the military will be the ones to lead this investigation, Natasha, to figure out what went wrong here. But I also want to let everyone know that the Prime Minister has put forward condolences as well. Justin Trudeau saying that he's been in touch with the Minister of National Defence. And he goes on to say that thoughts are with the brave members of the Royal Canadian Air Force. And obviously, this is just one statement of many that has come through at this time. We've also heard from the Governor General of Canada as well, expressing condolences. Obviously, this news hitting people very difficultly at this time on a long weekend at that.
And Chris, just as you were offering up that first answer, I want to bring people up to speed because the CF Snowbirds have issued another tweet. You had mentioned that we now have confirmation that one person has died, another has suffered serious injuries, but they are offering up an update saying our previous statement indicated that the surviving member of the crash suffered serious injuries. We can confirm that their injuries are not considered life-threatening. That's important information, certainly, as people are waiting to find out how serious the situation might be. So we know one person has lost their life, another person is being treated, but those serious injuries are not considered life-threatening. And as you said, Chris, lots of people were watching in those moments when the plane went down. So what are you hearing from some of those eyewitnesses?
Well, that's absolutely right. So many people were glued to the skies because they knew that the Snowbirds were in town. As the mayor just mentioned, they'd done their performance in the area the day prior, but they certainly knew that they were there. And so many people captured these terrifying moments on video camera, on cell phones and whatnot. You're seeing one of the videos that we found online from this incident today that shows the moment when this happened. Obviously, we're not going to be showing that exact moment just because it's so disturbing given the outcome in all of this. However, imagine how the families were feeling when they rushed to the windows to see the Snowbirds. They heard the Snowbirds, and then they saw this tragedy play out in the skies. I want to play a clip for you now of one of the eyewitnesses from Kamloops.
Just to the east of our house, I saw the lower Snowbird do a barrel roll. And then sort of a flash or a spark, saw the pilot eject and watched the Snowbird take a nosedive straight to the ground. After the barrel roll and the ejection, the plane basically went from being right up to going straight down, nose straight down. I didn't obviously see it hit the ground, but through the trees I could tell that it went straight down to the ground.
And so the RCMP says that they will be working with safety and other regulatory agencies to determine the cause of the crash. But as I mentioned earlier, the military will be leading up this investigation in the days ahead. And of course, everyone will be watching to see the condition of the other person that was on that plane.
Okay, thank you, Chris.
Thank you.